Hi everyone, it's John here from Independent Travel Reviews. This is a really quick unscripted video to say I had my mobile phone stolen from my shoulder bag in Barcelona yesterday afternoon. And this video is really just a warning to say that all of those things that they say about Barcelona, about it being a dangerous place from a point of view of pickpockets and thefts, clearly are true. So the scenario that I was in is I got off a train at a place called El Prat de Llobregat, which is the big town next to Barcelona Airport. I was going to go up the escalator. I had this big heavy bag with me plus a shoulder bag, and the escalator was not working, so you had to walk up the escalator. And I waited for all the other passengers to go, and then I started to pick the bag up, and this guy, quite a scruffy looking guy, came to help me. And I was a bit unsure, but I thought, well, it was hot and I was sweating, so I thought, yeah, I'll just take a bit of help. And I had my mobile phone in this thing slung, and it was zipped up. It was slung slightly to my right hand side because I had a backpack on, and it had moved because I was carrying the bag. And somehow he managed to get the zips open, or somebody managed to get the zips open and remove my mobile phone from between the bottom of the escalator and the ticket barriers at the top. So this video really is just a warning that all of those things that they say about Barcelona, clearly, unfortunately, they're true. There are some good things to come out of this. First of all, I've learned what you have to do when you get your phone stolen, and I'm going to talk about that in a moment because that might be of help to people just to kind of be prepared and things I might do differently in the future. There are some good things though. First of all, the Barcelona police, who it was reported to, were really helpful, and they were clearly keen to get this kind of sorted out. We managed to track the phone through my wife, and we did actually manage to kind of see it moving until it got to what was obviously some sort of residential address, and then the police said, no, sorry, we can't go any further because we'd have to get a warrant to go in there. And clearly I understand that with something like a mobile phone theft every 10 minutes in Barcelona, it's not realistic for me to expect the police to get search warrants for one single mobile phone. But the police were really helpful. I reported it, they took me back to the police station, we did all the paperwork. It took about 3 hours, and then they took me to my Airbnb. So I cannot fault what the police did and how helpful they were. There were 4 of them, and they actually intercepted 3 Romanian guys on the platform who were clearly up to no good. Whether they were the people who were part of stealing my phone, I can't be sure, because the guy who helped me up the stairs, who was obviously part of it, he wasn't anywhere to be seen. But they did arrest one of the guys who were on the platform, I think possibly for drugs related offences. I'm not entirely sure, they wouldn't really tell me. So something did good came out of it, because they did arrest somebody for something. So Barcelona, yes, the things that you see, the reports are very real. So I think, what would I do next time? Well, clearly I would have my phone somewhere more secure, or I would think really carefully if somebody came up to me to offer me help. Twice at Barcelona Sants station, people came up to me to offer me help, and I declined it, and I should have done that in retrospect with my bag, but it was hot and all that kind of stuff. So what would I do differently? Well, I would put my phone somewhere different, somewhere more secure. I think really seriously about having credit cards with my mobile phone, which is what I do. I have a little wallet thing that goes with the phone. That clearly wasn't a great idea, because I ended up losing some of my credit cards as well. I think I might think twice about whether to have my main phone with me when I travel, and perhaps have a second phone with an eSIM on it. And also, I think what I did learn is that with an Android phone anyway, you can remotely wipe it. I didn't realise that, and you can track it. So it probably is worth, if you've got an Android phone, and I'm guessing that Apple phones will have a similar facility. If you've got an Android phone, it's probably worth spending a few minutes just researching it in case it happens to you. The other great thing that I learned is I had WhatsApp on my laptop computer. So even though I didn't have my phone, I was actually able to send messages to my friends and my wife, who were able to kind of do stuff for me. So, and that still worked, even though the phone had been stolen and the phone had been reported as stolen to the mobile phone provider. So that's something that I think is worth considering, is having WhatsApp on your iPad or on your laptop. So in the worst that happens and you lose your phone, you should still have some form of connectivity. The other thing that I've learned is that my travel insurance, I actually have two forms of travel insurance, both with credit cards. And one thing I didn't realise is that some of them have an individual item limit, which is relatively low. So my phone is probably about £500 if it's new, and one of my insurance policies only covers single items up to £300. So that is something that's worth considering, particularly of course they've got an excess on them, typically around about £50. So it is worth just bearing that in mind, either in terms of the value of the phone that you take on holiday with you, or perhaps in terms of which insurance you get. And they also insist that you have a police report if you have stuff stolen. So although it might just be tempting to kind of think, well, I can't be bothered spending the time, which in reality is about 3 hours, to report it to the police and get the paperwork done. Actually, if you want to claim on your insurance, then that is something, that is a pain that you have to go through. And yeah, it's a real nuisance. You're losing 3 or 4 hours of your holiday, plus all the time that you've got to report everything stolen. But I think it probably is worth going to the police for. So this has definitely put me off coming back to Barcelona. It's frustrating because I was here to film a video about Barcelona cruise port, which I obviously didn't have time to do. One thing I did learn is that the Airbnb that I stayed at is fantastic. It's only about 10 minutes from the airport. It only accepts one person, so if you're a single traveller, I'm going to put the listing on the screen now, because the people here are really lovely. It's immaculately clean. You get a great breakfast, you get your own bathroom and everything, and it is relatively good value for Barcelona, which is a really expensive place to come, by the way. And if I'm honest, I know I'm probably reacting a bit to what happened with my phone, but if I'm honest, I'm not going to be back here for some time. I personally think there are much better places to come in Spain, without the crowds and hopefully without the risks that you run clearly coming to Barcelona. And just 3 examples: Cordoba, Granada and Valencia are all beautiful cities, and they don't have the baggage that Barcelona appears to have. Anyway, I hope that's been useful. I hope it will, if anything, I hope it makes you think much more carefully about how you secure your valuables, and particularly your mobile phone. Yeah, it's not the video I wanted to make here in Barcelona, but hopefully it will be of value to some of you. See you next time. Thanks for watching.